So I was just saying that I'm not coaching two teams at once, because that would actually take probably twice the planning, because you can't guarantee that two teams are going to pick up, in my case, the offense, the drills, the press is what I've been working on, the defense, all those things. They're not going to pick it up at the same pace. Like day one, these guys did better than I expected, at least from a team that's, I assumed, had never seen the offense that I have. But I was told later that they actually had seen something similar, so they picked it up, like the things I planned on day one. Like, okay, we're going to add something to this and do another section. So they actually got to play against each other a little bit, which was a little against my normal first practice, but I was just like, I'm out of options. I don't want to start a totally new concept, so I wanted them to have like a game-like situation where they could practice the offense that I had given them, even though I had not given them a defense at that point. I just said, play man-to-man defense, and waited to see how poorly that would go, because I wanted the offense to win anyways. So if you're going to be planning, that we're basically planning for teaching. We're not quite like how to make a lesson plan, but this is how to select the things that are important to teach in your practices. So here's all the things you're going to learn. Basically, it's really important to plan ahead. You basically need to plan for planning, almost. I know that sounds a little weird. It'll make a little more sense here in a minute. So setting a goal is not the main thing. Deciding how to achieve it. It is deciding how to achieve it. That's what you're doing when planning a practice. My goal for practice this morning was to introduce the press break and introduce, I call it circle motion. So when somebody drives, everybody has to circle the same direction as the person driving. And it's starting to ingrain that habit. Didn't do a great job getting that. That one always takes a little longer. Pass and cut, which is what my offense starts with, they usually do a pretty good job picking that up. That's a fairly intuitive thing. If you've been trained before, circle motion, going the same direction as the dribbler, is actually the opposite of what a lot of coaches teach. A lot of coaches teach if you're in the corner and the person at top drives right, you pull towards them so you can give them a dribble handoff, and then they'll turn the corner and be the second drive and the third drive. And it's actually an offense called dribble drive. So there are some good points of planning. So one, you're going to get more done. I was the third coach at Lodi my first year. Drove me nuts. I'd been coaching for 6 years at this point. This guy had been coaching at this team for 10 years. He was a dad turned coach that stayed, and they would spend 15 minutes on this 3-man weave drill. And they only had one court because it was split guys and girls on the two courts. So they only had one court to work on. And it was like 3-man weave, and then they had like 3 layups that would happen at the end of it. And there was a pattern. And they would spend 15 minutes of this, and it drove me bonkers. Because we had 15 guys, 16 guys on the team, 3 guys doing the drill with 1 ball, and 12 guys watching. I'm like, they are just goofing off on the sidelines. They're not learning anything. We are wasting time on a drill that they're never going to use these actions in a game. Like all they're learning is how to run a pattern. So getting more done, and then I'm a huge fan of collapsing time frames. I want to get as much in to the time that I have. Every player in the drill, I want to have some sort of emphasis that they are working on. I have my base drill is a pass and cut drill. The person starts under the basket as if they just made the layup. Pass